morning. It's our first day on the Western Wildland Route, Section 4. We're starting out in Haley, Idaho this morning, and it's another gorgeous day here. And I had a hell of a nice tailwind so far. We'll see what happens when we turn the corner. Okay, we're just about nearing Craters of the Moon National Park. You can see all the lava here. Desolate landscape here. Day number 2 here. Slept out in the sagebrush last night. It was actually not too unpleasant, quite nice. And we're heading up highway here to Craters of the Moon National Monument. Well, we finally got off that highway, and now we're on this Blizzard Road, which is about 20 miles outside of Arco, Idaho. Pretty spectacular spot here. This mountains here are just very seductive. Today's our 4th day out on the road. Just leaving Blackfoot, Idaho, where we had a comfortable night there at the Super 8. There's really no suitable camping anywhere near Blackfoot. It's just all agriculture here. For miles and miles and miles of irrigated field. It's amazing that there's any water left in the Snake River here. Riding along here along the Blackfoot River Road here. Really quite stunning landscape. Just a steep walled canyon and then beautiful river down below. It's been a pretty challenging ride though, because the hills are relentless and they're freaking steep too. Looking ahead there, you can see that one. That's got to be good 18%. There's no way I'm riding that thing. Amazing little flock of gulls way out here in the middle of the sage above the Blackfoot River here. There are hundreds of them. I think they're terns. And I think they're feeding on some kind of caddisfly hatch. I see lots of little bugs. Oh, good morning. Our 5th day out on the road. A really nice campsite last night at Graves Creek. Perfect little spot right on the Blackfoot River. And heading up towards Soda Springs today. If you like cows, you're gonna love Idaho. Good morning. Today's our, I believe, 6th or 7th day, I can't remember. We're about 25 miles south of Soda Springs. Had difficulty finding campground. There's really no camping legally anywhere near Soda Springs, and we thought we'd maybe be able to find a nice quiet piece of farmland somewhere. Well, it took us a couple hours to find anything, and it was only due to farmer having accidentally left the gate open. Just nothing but barbed wire and cattle pasture out here. Now we finally left the cow country behind, and now we're ascending National Forest Road, Caribou National Forest. It's quite lovely here. It's just been such a joy to see forest again. Not tired of looking at those damn cows, not to mention smelling them. Anyway, following this real pretty creek here, which unfortunately is contaminated with heavy metals thanks to a open pit mine, which is probably visible from space up ahead. And here is the mine. Smoky Creek Phosphate Mine. It's been in operation since the 1950s. And they're making phosphorus fertilizer out of whatever ore they get here. And this is just a small portion of it. Apparently it goes back for miles. Hey, good morning. Today's our, I believe, 6th or 7th day on the road. We had a nice campsite last night here in the Caribou National Forest. We'll pull out, although did have a bit of an unnerving situation last night. About 11:30 at night, some big monster diesel truck comes in, and bright headlights got within maybe about 5 feet of my tent. I was a little worried he was going to run me over. Thankfully, turned around, but it was quite nerve-wracking. I think probably it was a deer poacher. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm on an absolutely hellacious climb here. Just brutally steep, no shade, blazing sun. and almost out of water. Just unbelievable. This terrain here is just so unforgiving here. Well, we made it to the shores here of Bear Lake. It's just a beautiful spot here, 20-mile long lake. Just had my second swim. I feel clean, more so than I have the whole trip. And we're gonna camp here. We found a quiet little nook, sort of away from all the crowds. On a really brutal climb here, Birch Mountain, and it's only about 1,200 feet of climbing, but it is steep and it's rough, and the sun is absolutely merciless. Not to mention the fact that there are swarms of mosquitoes here, which is really strange because this is a super dry canyon. There's no moisture here whatsoever. Worst mosquitoes we had all trip. Well, we're really out in the Wild West here. This is Wyoming, and there's just nothing out here but sage. It's really quite stark.